What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another Echocalypse video. Alright guys, we're going to be talking about something that I want to discuss today because there may be, this is a rumor, okay, so don't take this to heart. There may be a rerun of the Aiken banner, so she may be a weekly unit coming back or a limited banner, one of the two, during the Horus banner that is coming out very soon. Now again, this is just speculation, rumors. I don't actually have any form of source on this, but in the back of your mind, there's been conversations. Keep that in your head. So shout out to the individual who told me about this and just kind of alluded to it. Again, if it's real, this video is going to matter quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys my take on this entire game. If I were a brand new player and that banner is coming out, if I could do it all over again, who my main focuses would be in this game and why, okay? Straightforward. And this is going to be great for a lot of people who are planning to re-roll, start over, or for those who are just joining the game. I have a tier list out. You guys can check out the tier list. It will make a lot of sense if you follow that tier list as well. But this is just to kind of break it down a little bit and give you guys my take on the top units I would be using if I were to start over again and what I would say for. Again, hindsight is, hindsight's 2020. It makes more sense when you obviously know the past and what the future holds. So in this case, here is how my setup would look. Pretty straightforward, okay? There are a lot of units here that I would avoid summoning on. Big one, for example, is Pan. I regret summoning on Pan because I'm not a whale. I got her to 3 stars. Luckily, I got her to 3 stars. That was just sheer luck. But I summoned for her weekly visitor because I had her at 2 stars. And I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe I need a shielder and I should summon for Pan. That was a big mistake. And not only that, not only did I just summon for her, but I summoned for her weapon as well, too, which again is uselessly just sitting there collecting dust. So something I would absolutely avoid. Here is what I would recommend doing. First and foremost, Aiken would be my #1 focus. She still is the top unit for free-to-play players, in my opinion, in order to push content, especially from a DPS perspective, and you won't find anybody better than her. I promise you guys that. So I highly recommend, if Aiken does do a rerun and you missed out on her and you're about to start the game, or if you were thinking of re-rolling because your account isn't what it was or what you want it to be, I would push for Aiken. Now, for a lot of us free-to-play players, I would even go as far as saying I would push her as far as possible in terms of duping her as well, because she's that much better than most of the other DPS in this game. If you see her on any Whales account, if you see her on any of the free-to-play players account, you'll see that she's absolutely dominating every single aspect of the game at all times, especially DPS, which is still the main part of this game. So the thing to remember, though, of course, is the fact that the meta will change at some point. So she may not bring quite as much value as she does now, but she still will never be a useless unit or overshadowed unit. She'll just be dropping the tier list just a tad bit. But for anyone who's free to play, your main focus is always going to be PvE. So you're going to be using her probably throughout your entire time playing this game, in my opinion at least, right? And I can tell you right now, no one has made the splash, no pun intended, because of her special, the impact or the boom, again, no pun intended, actually pun wasn't intended on that one. No one's made the same impact as her when it comes down to DPS. No one before her, no one after her so far to this point has done what she's been able to do for anyone's account, especially if you can get her to 3 stars plus. So if she is dropping, that's something I would focus on for sure, guys. So Aiken, #1 person I would focus on, or #1 case I would focus on if I were to start over again, okay? Audrey, very, very good choice. I would still focus on Audrey as well, too. But Chiraha would be my and Levia would be my next 2. So these 2 here are game changers as well. So where Audrey does regen for the back row and has a 50% chance to give back row 2 rage. Levia does DPS and has a chance to give the opposite row that she's in the 2 rage. So you have a little bit more flexibility with Levia. So Audrey and Levia work together really well as well too if you have 2 good support. But in my opinion, having Chiraha and Levia is the better of the 2 choices. If you're lacking a little bit of heals, and Chiraha and Audrey, and you have to just figure out your back row, front row, rage regen, right? So these 4 here would definitely be the main ones for free to play. Even actually for whales, let's just be real, for whales too. Now, speaking of whales, if you're going to be a whale spender and you're going to be a dolphin, please spend responsibly. This game has not had the same honeymoon phase and luxury that it had before, and appeal to a lot of players. Many people have quit. So please, when you are jumping into this game, put that in the back of your mind that your server may also be dead before you notice, right? So Griff, though, for sure is an incredible character. I would highly recommend going for her if you are a whale, dolphin, even free to play. You can push enough to get that shield, that extra block percentage, etc. from her to make her a little bit more tanky for you and also dish out pretty good DPS. So highly recommend Griff, but also not a necessity. Okay, while these four I'd say are a necessity, I'd say Griff is not a necessity for free to play. Fenruru, on the other hand, I've been lucky enough to pull many of her. I think she's an incredibly powerful unit, especially for free to play players. And you get her for free, and you have the ability to get dupes for her as well too. So she is still high up on that list as one of the best units for free to play players, especially now pay to win. Obviously, that's not the case. You're going to probably be using Rayon anyways, so you'll probably remove Fenruru, put Rayon in, and you're going to be using a better DPS overall in that case. Now Niz. Oh boy, Niz. Niz has been instrumental in my progression as well too in PvE. So if you are a PvP or PvE free-to-play player, Niz is someone I would really focus on if I were you. Try to get her SSR weapon as well too, and put effort into getting her augmentation up to get the last bit of her skills right here. Her rage is at full start of the battle. When enemy retreats, she recovers 27 max HP, so it keeps her alive longer. And her freeze and CCing is bar none the best in the game. So Niz would definitely be someone I'd focus on. Plus, if you start on a new server, if you can get her for free from the 7-day achievements that you accomplish. So a unit that's there for you for free. So it allows you to save gems as well and push more Aiken. Now, like I said before, Aiken, 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever you can push. Troaz, fine at 0. Levia's fine at 0. Griff, I mean, realistically fine at 0. You don't need more than that. Niz is fine at 0. Now, the other unit here you get for free as well too is going to be the main hero. This will happen through storyline. Really, really good stunner. So if you can get a good stunner in and you need a good stunner, the main hero is incredible for that. I just got this outfit today. It looks pretty bomb, so I put it on. So that is another unit I recommend going for. Zawa also is a really big unit for blind. Helps CC. In the beginning, also, Vivi is not bad, but unfortunately can be skipped. Like I mentioned, Audrey is really good. And if you're looking for the next big healer, Nephthys is amazing as well, too. Now, Kiki, I know, is one of the first banners. If you can get 1 copy of her, you're set as well. Again, not a necessity, but very good to have. Nephthys is amazing. Baphomet is a really good tank if you're looking for a tank, but most people don't use them, so don't worry too much about it. And then lastly, Dean is another decent option. So those are all the options that you can go for, but aren't necessities, okay? So the real main necessities I said, and if you want to save as well too for future banners, is push Aiken, get Levia, get Shiraha, Fenruru's free, Griff is really good, Niz is a must-have. The main character is really, really good too. So those ones there are perfect. Audrey's a must-have as well too, so you can get there. Kiki's really, really good for DPS. Nephthys, I'd say must-have. Zawa, must-have. But these ones, Zawa is from the selective summon, so if you get lucky enough to get her there. Dina's also from the selective summon if you get her there. And Baphomet can also be from there. Baphomet's I put low on the list though. But and also like a couple other ones. You get Winnow for free as well, so if you're looking for a decent DPS, like for the 6th position, Winnow's actually a pretty good DPS to have for a while until a bigger banner comes out. So there you guys have it. That's the list I would go for. If you're planning to go start over again, remember, it's just a rumor. Aiken banner may be rerunning. Now is the time to be summoning for her, especially for those who missed her. She is still the most impactful character in the game, in my opinion. So if you did miss out, definitely focus on trying to get her now before it's too late again. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.